Hello, and welcome to the G3 Pulse podcast. Today, we are joined by Mikael Lijtenstein, CEO of fintech specialist AstroPay. Mikael, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Luis, and thank you for the invite.
Oh, no, great to see you. Thank you for coming on. We met at ICE, so there were lots of questions that I put to you then, and I'd just like to do the same thing. But starting off, I wanted to ask about, personally, I believe your background's in engineering, and I was wondering, how did you get into the fintech side? How did you transfer your skills across?
Great question. I'm engineering. Yes, I studied computer science
Okay.
in Uruguay, here in Montevideo. So I started here in AstroPay more than 7 years ago as a software developer,
Okay.
doing my first job in some way part time, programming,
Okay.
and it catch me the fintech industry. I started integrating payment methods, being in the core of the business, understanding what happened in the back, and not only what we see always in the front. So something very interesting here. It's understanding what happens in the system. It's great then to bring that to the business and bring that to develop new opportunities in terms of merchants, in terms of expansion, in terms of product features, in terms of functionalities, in terms of understanding the flow of the payment journey and understanding
Okay.
the user too.
And so does that mean you came in very much at the ground level and have actually worked your way up to CEO?
Yeah, it was a long trip and a long path. I worked in the IT team as a software developer. Then I moved to the part of operations of the core of the system. Then I moved to operations, non-IT, working
Okay.
with providers, country managers, expansion, then COO, and then CEO. But yeah, great experience.
Oh, congratulations as well. You're the face of AstroPay, and I was wondering, could you give me an idea of the size of the company, the business itself, the number of employees, the offices globally? What's the scale of AstroPay as it stands today?
Today we are almost 200 people all over the world. With the pandemic, we realized that we need to move or to change our focus to a remote company. We
Okay.
were founded in Uruguay. I'm in Uruguay, in Montevideo, and we have an office here. But after pandemic, we started hiring talented people all over the world. And today we are almost 200. We have people Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Israel, Spain, UK, Philippines, Taiwan, Kenya, many countries.
Okay.
Yeah, the only office we have is here in Uruguay, as it is the headquarter. But trying to catch the talented people that can help AstroPay growth in every country in the world.
Okay. Looking into the background a little bit of AstroPay, the company was formed, as you say, in 2009. The two founders, Sergio Fogel and Andres, I'll probably pronounce his name wrong, but Bzakowski, have since gone on to become billionaires after they created dLocal, another fintech that helps multinationals handle cross-border payments. They've been launching different things in the past, and I just wonder, are they involved at all still in the business, or are they kind of out of that, and obviously with dLocal now? And why is all this fintech talent coming from Uruguay? Okay, what is the reason for that?
As you said, the local it's a spin-off of AstroPay, and yeah, Sergio and Andres, they are responsible for the overall business, the strategy. They help us with the growth,
Okay.
and they are involved in that side for sure. And why Uruguay? A
Mm.
great question. It's a small country with a lot of people that want to grow, and ambitious people that want to do things in the world, and to create innovative things. There are other companies that were created here in Uruguay, So yeah, we are a small country but with a lot of energy, and and the idea to grow all the world, and to show the world that from Uruguay to the world we can. And yeah, as you said,
Mm.
AstroPay was founded in Uruguay as a fintech, the local spin-off from AstroPay. So yeah, it's we are having good results from here.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that you've been known for on this side, particularly, is your sponsorship, and particularly your sports sponsorship. You're on the sleeve sponsor of on the Premiership football teams, Burnley, Newcastle United, West Ham, Crystal Palace, and several tennis players too. I just wonder what are the benefits of this type of sponsorship for a payments business such as AstroPay?
First of all, the sports are massive in the world,
Mm.
and football is one of the most viewed sports all over the world, and in every place. So being there is giving a lot of visibility to us as a company.
Okay.
For sure, Premier League, as you said, uh, where we are sponsoring some teams. It's in all over the world, not only in Latin America, also in India, also in China, also in many countries of Asia. So being there, it's giving us a lot of brand visibility.
Okay.
So we are doing sponsorship with Burnley. We're in the sleeve. We are working also with Crystal Palace in the training shirt.
Yep.
We are also with other teams in the LADs in the stadium. So it's giving to us a lot of visibility
Mm.
to users all over the world. Not only users, companies, banks, everyone. And as you said, we were testing also tennis. As tennis,
Yep.
it's another great great sport, a great sport. We were working with Peke Schwartzman, Argentinian tennis player.
Okay.
Uh, also, we did a sponsorship with Sri Lanka in the T20 World Cup cricket,
Okay.
uh, trying to be everywhere and trying to be a global company to have more visibility.
And is that brand recognition purely within that kind of sports sphere, or does the brand recognition kind of move outside that sport as well? It's not just confined to sports and maybe even sports betting transactions. Do you think the brand visibility goes outside and is wider than that as well?
Yeah, it's wider than that. Of course, it's giving for us in the sports for those users who see that industry interesting. It's important, but it's wider than that, and we try to give visibility to the world as a payment method, as a payment method option, and today as a digital wallet.
Okay. In terms of the world, as you mentioned there, you launched in Brazil, moved to the whole of Latin America. Then, as you mentioned about India, China, you started recently in Africa, in Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, followed by the launch in Europe last year. What kind of tricky question I want to ask was like, why the global expansion when you're already a kind of a local specialist in Latin America? Surely it's big enough as a market for you. What's the reason for this kind of big global expansion just in a relatively short period of time as well?
Yeah, to be honest, we were founded in 2009, where
Yeah.
we started in Brazil, and then with the years we continue growing and expanding in Latin America, where we became specialists, and we learned how to work in emerging markets
Okay.
to do this. Uh, to be a cross-border company working with international companies and international sites in emerging markets, doing the complex easy in some way. Uh, so going all over the world to help people with a digital wallet, and being an ambitious company trying to be everywhere, make uh, made us to go to other continents and to other countries. As you said, we expanded
Hmm.
to Asia, we expanded to Africa. We launched Europe some months ago. We started from UK, Spain, and Portugal. So the whole experience that we had from those emerging markets and the lessons we learned, uh, and what we did, it's what we are trying to do all over the world in every country that we are launching.
And what skills did you transfer from, Latin and South American markets that are, obviously there are cultural differences in terms of each market that you enter. But I just wondered what are those same things that you brought that are kind of unique to AstroPay? Obviously with lots of fintech companies elsewhere, but as one that launches from, as I say, your base is in Uruguay. What culturally do you bring to all the different other markets and how does that compare to Europe when you enter that kind of market as well?
Yeah, here it's key to be closer to the user, as we are a B2C
Okay.
company and a digital wallet, and we are and our aim is to satisfy the user with the payment journey, to satisfy the user with the flow, with the features that we give and we offer in our app.
Okay.
Being closer to the user, it's important. Being in the ground, we started Brazil and in those days it was very important to go to the store to reload the prepaid voucher in that moment that it was the AstroPay card.
Yeah.
Today it's the digital wallet, but uh, doing those tests and feeling the same that the user uh, feels when the user goes to load the balance or to purchase it's important. So having dedicated teams all over the world and to understand how the user would like to be communicated, what the user would like to receive, which are the local and popular payment methods for the users, uh, that it's very important in each market. So being a remote company and having people all over the world also it's helping us to be everywhere, to understand the culture, to understand the users, and to understand what they would like.
Okay. And has there been a specific rollout that's of kind of a global map, and you pinpointed exactly where you want to target next? And what was the reason for coming to Europe? I mean, how much has kind of COVID and the pandemic played into some of that kind of launch? Kind of was there a delay, a kind of a waiting for the right moment as well?
We know that Europe it's a huge market. Also, we know that there is competition,
Yeah.
but always there is space for a new payment method or for a different one for
Okay.
those early adopters who want to test something new, to test something different, uh, to rely on a different wallet. So it was not. In the pandemic, we accelerated Africa. It was first in the
Okay.
in the pipeline and
Right.
in the countries that we were expanding, and then we continue with UK, Spain, and Portugal as the main markets in Europe. For sure, UK one of the biggest one, and Spain and Portugal, due to the cultural similarity that we have from Latin America.
Right. Okay.
What we learned from Brazil, the language, the culture. Uh, so yeah, that was our first idea and where to start uh, for those countries.
And are there key markets that you want to crack? Are there very specific ones that you start here because it means that it's easier to go elsewhere? Once you've actually cracked one, maybe a tough market, that it makes it easier to flow into other ones. Is that do you have a kind of a hit list of places that you really kind of you very specifically wanted to get into?
Uh, we have a list, but yeah, the idea it's to be everywhere. As I said, we are in every market in Latin America. We are in some countries in Africa. We're in some countries in Asia and Southeast Asia. We started from those ones in Europe. So yeah, we are very ambitious to be everywhere. So in some way, we are trying to understand the different countries, what the user wants, to to create the user experience, because it's key here, to
Okay.
give the user at the moment that the user needs to purchase or to load balance or then to deposit or to cash out also.
Okay.
We need to have the best payment journey that we can, so the user can feel comfortable, and the flow could be easy,
Mm.
and very simple for them. So today we are focusing, as your question, we are focusing in,
Mm.
in those countries that we just launched,
Okay.
but the idea is to continue.
And how when you do such a kind of a big global expansion as this, how do you manage to stay local, stay close to your customers as well?
Being in the ground, doing the tests. Believe me that when you do the test, you feel things that being in the computer you can't. So it's important to test, to be with the user, to receive feedback. We try to receive a lot of feedback from the users, how they felt, what they would like,
Okay.
what didn't went well, what we can improve, what we can optimize in the onboarding, in the purchase, in the release of the payment, in the deposit. So hearing the users, doing focus group surveys, it's very important.
And as we had a chat at ICE, as I mentioned earlier, and which we ran through the user base, which I think you're over 5 million users, 1,000 merchants, 200 payment services. A lot of these have been added in the last kind of couple of years, and it's a kind of a from 2009. There's been a very fast expansion over this last period, and I wanted to kind of find out, in terms of the markets that you're in, how much of that, what's the scale that you're looking to in terms of those markets? 5 million users are a lot, but spread across all the markets that you're in, seems as though the numbers are spread out and spaced out. Are the kind of collective big numbers in Brazil, the big numbers in Africa? Where are those kind of users coming from, Mikael? And are we going to see that kind of expansion of growth that we've seen over the last 2 years continue? Are you still on that kind of same trajectory?
Uh, yes, we are almost 6 million now,
Okay. Okay.
and the idea it's to continue that trend. We started from Brazil and Latin America, so many of the users of those millions are from there. Then, as we move to Asia, we have a lot of users in India too.
Okay.
And then the last launch as Africa in the last 2 years, and Europe are the ones that are growing and will help for sure us to to reach 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, and the idea to follow that trend, that it's focusing in the end user,
Okay.
being a user centric company, a detail oriented, so we can satisfy the user, spread out the voice also, not only with our campaigns and our marketing and our sponsorships. So many other users can come to use us as a wallet.
Okay. The company was set up in 2009, as we mentioned, aforementioned, but it was centered around the AstroPay card for people who didn't have access to debit cards and credit cards. When we spoke at ICE, the emphasis seems to have switched and changed now to different parts of the business. And I was wondering, how has the company evolved since then? So what is it? What is it that you're now offering? Is the actual AstroPay card still as important as it was?
As you said, the AstroPay card was the first product we launched so
Yep.
many years ago. And hearing users, receiving feedback, and following the trends of the markets and the technology, we realized that we need to improve, and we need to have a better offer. So we created and developed our digital wallet.
Okay.
So in some way, today it's our main product, where in the merchant cashier, the user can sign up, log in, purchase, and deposit it in the same frame in some way. So we are giving the user a better user experience, a better payment journey, uh, and the idea it's to follow the innovation of the technology, so we can be updated, and we have a big IT team that it's responsible for that,
Okay.
to optimize and to update the technology, and with this migration to the wallet, we
Mm.
are offering to the merchants one API for deposits and cash out. So
Okay.
with the same API, they can uh, expand to all over the world, to offer to their users AstroPay as a wallet to deposit and to cash out money from the site.
Okay. Digital wallets. I mean, they seem to be surging since probably the last 2 years, since 2020. And as a result, we saw I mentioned probably about 50 fintech companies at the ICE London show. How do you stand out in this sector? How, from a platform integration and player perspective, is it all about brand? Is it all about the product and service? How do you cut through that noise of, so many brands and so many logos out there?
Yeah, it's everything. It's a brand, it's the product, it's to have an easy and simple product and flow, a wallet where the users can rely, that they feel comfortable that their money it's secure, that they can trust. We have our own fraud and cyber security rules and tools that
Okay.
we created, and also we use with other third parties. Being easy, fast, and secure, those three things are very important for the user to rely on.
And speaking of that, I mean, how do you balance ease of use with kind of ultimate user protection? How do you remove friction whilst and increase the customer, the user experience without compromising security?
We encourage the team to test a lot. And when I mentioned, for sure, we need to have some basics rules and some basics information that we need.
Okay.
But we want at the same time to have the less steps we can, uh, so the user can do the purchase as soon as fast as they want.
Yeah.
So we have both teams fighting, the fraud
Yeah.
team
Well, yeah.
with the product team
Yeah.
at the same time, and that's the idea. It's to encourage that discussions,
Right.
so we can balance the information and the rules that we need to put in place, and the other ones from the UX perspective and the product perspective, to offer to the user the best payment journey. So that from that discussions, we create the product, and those tests that we are doing, and we encourage the team to move fast, are helping us to create the best flow we can.
And how do you keep that innovation rolling? Because obviously you have so many of your fintech peers, doing the same thing. Is it about innovating faster than they're actually innovating?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's faster. It's to do it right and good,
Okay.
and to deliver the best service you can. For example, we launched some time ago our crypto offering in some
Yes.
countries, so that it's a feature for the user, where the user can purchase or sell some cryptocurrencies in the app.
Okay.
That it's something that, as we all know, crypto was a trend in the world in the last year. So offering that to the user, it's not only offering, it's doing it right, understanding what they like, what they don't like, the behavior of them in the app, when they purchase, when they sell,
Yeah.
so we can be updated and offer them what they are looking for.
Okay. And as far as I'm aware, is that just Latin America for the cryptocurrency solution at the moment, or are you kind of rolling that out in different markets as well, Mikael?
At the moment, it's in Latin America. We are planning to roll out in other markets, but the focus to start was Latin America, to test it,
Okay.
and to improve it. As you know, in the it's you need to be as fast as you can to be in the market with the product, so you
Yeah.
can test it. If you lose a lot of time creating a product, and then
Yeah.
when you release what you want, perhaps it's late.
Yeah.
So we are improving it from the feedback and what we are seeing from Latin America, and the idea for sure it's to roll out all over the world then.
Okay. In 2020, you sold, or AstroPay sold, its B2B payment gateway. At the time, you said to focus on B2B solutions, which is obviously what you've done. You've also recently, actually, though, launched Transfer. Sorry, payment links for small to medium-sized companies. Yeah, and that was only a couple of months back. Could you explain payment links a little bit? And is this a shift back to B2B on that side? I'll get to Transfer in a second.
No, it's not a shift to B2B. We are a B2C company focused in the end user. What we are offering, it's a payment link for those SMBs
Okay.
that they are looking for an easy payment method. So uh, those small medium businesses that will start as users selling with the app, then perhaps we will become great companies or big companies,
Okay.
and will become merchants for us. But the idea is giving for those ones who don't have the whole structure an easy way to collect payments all over the world.
Okay. Okay. And the other product that I kind of mentioned that's slightly then was transfer, which enables the transfer of money to those who don't have an AstroPay account. Could you just give a little bit of explanation about transfer as well? And I mean, it's very fresh as well. It wasn't launched too long ago as well.
Yeah, we launched some weeks ago.
Okay.
Uh, uh, we had our card AstroPay card transfers in the past.
Yep.
Now with the digital wallet, we developed the transfers from user to user. The idea it's people to spread out the voice also, and to attract new users, and to transfer that you can transfer to your friend money from your wallet to their to the wallet from your friend,
Okay.
and move money, and use that as your main payment method also. So yeah, spreading the voice and giving more functionalities and more features for the user. It's very important.
Okay. We mentioned that you were at the iShow. I believe it was a successful event for yourselves, and it was a big kind of important one. Are you doing any more this year? Where can we actually see AstroPay if we're going to go to any exhibitions and conferences and events in 2022? What are I mean, you've just launched, as I mentioned, a couple of new products just within the last couple of months. What new things can we expect from AstroPay coming up, Mikael?
We Luis, we are going to be in some other events for sure. We are going to be in IFX now in Cyprus. Then we have
Okay.
Sigma in November, and we are planning to be in other events too.
Okay.
Uh, what we are expecting from us as a company, it's to continue growing and to continue delivering products and service for users and merchants. Continue the expansion too.
Okay.
Now we are focusing in the last launch launches that we did. There are a lot, and we try to optimize and to update and to improve what we are doing, and uh, the first developments that we put in production.
Okay.
Uh, and we will continue growing, acquiring new users, acquiring new merchants, acquiring new payment methods to offer to the users, to the end users, local payment methods. So the company is really focusing in growing everywhere, and that it's challenging and it's difficult, but with the team that we have, we can do it. We rely on the team, and we are sure that we can uh, continue the growing and the trends that we had in the last 2 years. So yeah, we are very happy with that.
From my side, good luck with all of that. Good luck with the extra sponsorship, the new products, the new markets that you're involved in as well, and obviously hitting the different kind of growth figures for from when I spoke to you at ICE was 5 million users, and now, as you say, closer to 6 million users. So we'll catch up hopefully towards the end of the year, maybe before Sigma, and then see where you're at and see what you've been doing in the meantime. But for now, thank you very much for joining the podcast, Mikael.
Thank you very much, Luis. It was a pleasure, and see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Bye.
Bye.